Thank you, Comrade Nkenke, and the members of the media for responding to the briefing of the African National Congress on the election campaign and political issues in our environment. And we know that what is key for you in the political environment is the disciplinary case, which we'll clarify. This briefing takes place 23 days before millions of South Africans will exercise their hard-won right to continue authoring their collective destiny by voting and entrusting their democratically elected representatives to continue working for and with them to do more, together to build a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic, and prosperous South Africa in which all enjoy a better life. This briefing also takes place a day after we celebrated what would have been the pre-centenary birthday of Comrade Ruth First, journalist, academic, political activist, who was born on the 4th of May 2020, who was born on May. Her life was brutally cut short by a parcel bomb sent to her office at the Eduardo Mandlane University in Maputo by the murderous apartheid security apparatus. The life and struggle of Comrade Ruth First bears bitter testimony to the fact that our freedom was not free, but attained through commitment and the supreme sacrifice by brave women and men. It also underscores the non-racial and non-sexist character of the struggle against apartheid colonialism. Over the past 30 years, the people of South Africa, led by the ANC, have been at the forefront of a movement to construct a new South Africa. Our country has come a long way. We have made incredible strides and achieved so much. However, even after 30 years of freedom and democracy, our journey towards the South Africa that our people truly desire is far from over. We still have more hills to climb. In the 2024 elections, we'll therefore go beyond celebrating accomplishments. We learn from the past, from mistakes and setbacks, as we learn from achievements. The fundamental question for this year, the 30th anniversary of our freedom, is whether South Africa's transformation from an apartheid, colonial, patriarchal, and divided past may be halted or reversed, or whether the democratic renewal, national rejuvenation, and socio-economic transformation agenda shall gain new impetus. The ANC-led Alliance election campaign continues to escalate and move from strength to strength as ANC members and supporters go to every farm, village, and township, to every town, city, and suburb, to account to the people, placing the ANC manifesto into the eager hands of our people as we seek a renewed democratic mandate to defend and advance the gains of 3 decades of freedom. The spirit of our volunteers is soaring, fully embracing President Ramaphosa's vibrant call to action, Mahlo Mehlasele. On Wednesday, 1st May 2024, the Revolutionary Alliance of the ANC, SACP, COSATU, and SANCO held massive and successful May Day rallies in all provinces. The National May Day rally was addressed by President Cyril Ramaphosa. These rallies showed the determination of workers to defend and advance the gains made by the working class over the past 30 years against the threats posed by reactionary and anti-transformation forces. This dynamic phase of our campaign has been marked by the inspiring presence of ANC stalwarts, former President Thabo Mbeki, former Deputy President Kgalema Motlanthe, former Deputy President Didi Mabuza, and former Treasurer General Matthews Posa, joining forces with our dedicated volunteers. Together, they are engaging in open dialogues with South Africans, acknowledging past challenges, but more significantly, celebrating our collective triumphs over the last 3 decades. As the momentum builds, more stalwarts are joining the campaign trail in the days to come. Details of such will be communicated as programs are finalized. Thanks to the steadfast efforts and progressive leadership of successive ANC governments, South Africa stands proudly united in its rich diversity, claiming its esteemed spot within the global community. The ANC's vision for South Africa is the vibrant bond that unites us, igniting the full potential of every South African to boldly shape their future. It's a vision that not only binds us together, but also propels us forward towards a destiny of our own making. In the coming week, 6 to 12 May, a massive collective of leaders of the Revolutionary Alliance, the full National Executive Committee of the ANC, the Central Committee of the Communist Party, the Central Committee of COSATU, the NEC of SANCO, as well as the NECs of the Women's League, Veterans League, Youth League, Young Communist League, will start a week of intensive campaigning in KwaZulu-Natal. This intensive election campaign trail is both unprecedented and an innovation. This afternoon, President Cyril Ramaphosa will address this leadership collective as it prepares to engage citizens across the length and breadth of KwaZulu-Natal, joining thousands and thousands of ANC volunteers on the ground in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. The following week, 13th to 19th May, the intensive campaign trail moves to Gauteng province and beyond. The ANC is taking groundbreaking steps on digital platforms. This week we launched ANC Connect, our exclusive podcast channel on YouTube that brings the pulse of the Liberation Legacy right to your screen. This was launched with the first interview with the President of the African National Congress. Dive deep into the heart of our manifesto, where we lay out a clear, actionable plan for an overwhelming victory and a brighter tomorrow. That's not all. Tomorrow we launch a revolutionary My ANC app, your one-stop digital hub for interactive dialogue and comprehensive campaign insights. This is more than just an app, it's a movement in the palm of your hand, connecting you to the change you want to see. Announcements will be made on all our social and digital media platforms, so be sure to follow, like, and engage with us. As we stand on the brink of a defining moment, the Siyanqoba rally beckons us to the iconic FNB Stadium on the 25th of May 2024. Alongside, we will launch, as we started in the Free State in Putarichaba, where the President addressed the Siyanqoba rally in Qwaqwa, Malutia Pofung. That will be followed by other provinces throughout the country. This is more than a gathering. It's a clarion call by President Ramaphosa and the ANC for unity and collective action. This massive gathering will be preceded by provincial Siyanqoba rallies in all provinces on the 17 to 18 May 2024 as build-up activities for the national rally. We stand united, resolute in our vision for progress. And it's time for every South African to heed this call. Together, let's forge a path of shared success and endeavor. We call upon all South Africans to join us as we rally our spirits and efforts to do more together. The future is ours to shape, and every step we take is a stride towards a brighter, shared destiny. Let's make history together at the Siyanqoba rally. Your presence is the catalyst for change. Let's do more together. However, we know that there are social and political forces that are working hard to undermine the gains of freedom made over the last 3 decades. They want to stop the march towards a united, non-racial, non-sexist, and prosperous country that truly belongs to all. The counter-revolutionary and anti-transformation forces are converging in 2 pacts, while at the same time seeking to fragment the forces for change through splinter groups and small parties that will contest the ANC. Another counter-revolutionary and anti-transformation tactic is to ensure that the ANC is locked up in internal struggles that will weaken and destroy it from within. They actively encourage rebel breakaway groupings to erode the support base of the ANC. Often these start as factional conflicts within the ANC, but when the movement pushes ahead with its renewal, they mutate into opposition parties that are as opposed to the ANC as the right-wing opponents of transformation. Some of these parties masquerade as more radical than the ANC, but their revolutionary-sounding rhetoric cannot hide the reality that they have common cause with the forces opposing transformation. The shared goal of all these forces is to deprive the ANC of the ability to use state power to effect change. As the National Executive Committee pointed out in its 2024 January 8 statement, I quote, "The ANC is committed to developing and where necessary correcting its members and leaders," close quote. However, as renewal gains momentum, those whose conduct is in conflict with our values and principles, the criminals, the corrupt, the careerists and factionalists, and those who actively work against the organization will find themselves outside the ANC. Some of these elements, including former leaders of the ANC, have through their pronouncements and actions clearly and unambiguously placed themselves outside the ANC through violation of its constitution, the solemn contract between the organization and its members, by, I quote, "standing in an election for local and provincial or national government, or acting as the election agent or canvasser of a person standing in such election for any political party in opposition to a candidate duly endorsed by NEC or PEC," close quote. These members have, in the eyes of ANC members and society, effectively, quote unquote, constructively resigned or expelled themselves from the ANC. Notwithstanding this reality, the ANC is committed to the rule of law and following the processes set out in the ANC constitution, including disciplinary processes. However, the leadership of the ANC is also committed and duty-bound to act responsibly in safeguarding the life and property of its members and the people of South Africa and the integrity and stability of the electoral process. The Constitution of the ANC enjoins the NEC and the Secretary General's office to respect the integrity and independence of the National Disciplinary Committee and to take all steps necessary to support its work, including ensuring the safety of its members. In pursuance of this duty and based on an assessment of the security situation prevailing at Luthuli House, the Secretary General's office was advised that activities that have the potential to attract large gatherings that might result in violent or disruptive behavior are not advisable, especially close to election day. This is exacerbated by the activities of certain political parties in organizing demonstrations and sit-ins at Luthuli House, disguised as neutral people, but within those marches and the sittings that have happened here, we have identified political parties which have organized such destructive activities along our building at Luthuli House. And we have taken steps legally to correct that particular situation. And we will further take steps even to the Electoral Commission to expose these activities of some of these political parties. It was in this context that the NDC was requested to be mindful of these concerns and consider holding in abeyance any disciplinary proceedings that require in-person meetings at Luthuli House until the 2024 elections. The ANC-led alliance and the broad progressive movement remains the only reliable force that is capable and that has a tradition of uniting and working with various social forces to advance the national democratic agenda. Unique among political formation in South Africa, the ANC has been able to work with workers, women, youth, progressive professionals, intellectuals, business people, middle strata, faith-based organization, cultural activists, traditional leaders, and various community-based and non-governmental organizations to achieve social and economic change. The onslaught against transformation should make us more determined this year to succeed in building a better life for all and to be more deliberate and resolute about the renewal of the ANC, the broad democratic forces, and our society. At the same time, there are forces that seek to use this election to undo the progress of democracy. It is crucial that together we defend our hard-won freedom. In conclusion, the ANC remains committed to obtaining an overwhelming mandate from the people of South Africa to implement its 2024 election manifesto. We'll focus on 6 priorities that are critical to speeding up transformation and improving the lives of the people. Our jobs plan, building our industries to include an inclusive economy, tackling the high cost of living, investing in people, defending democracy, and advancing freedom, and building a better Africa and the world. We will do better, we will do more, and we'll do it faster together. Thank you.